Welcome to ACT Fitness Radio. The health and fitness podcast teaching you to aspire, conquer, and transform. Here's your host, Adam Castro.
All right. Well, welcome to ACT Fitness Radio, coming to you from Whittier, California. In this episode, I have a lovely assistant, Jaylene, my girlfriend, helping me out with answering a few questions. First, we do talk a little bit about one of my unhealthy addictions for a couple minutes, but we do get around to answering a few questions that were on the ACT Fitness Media Instagram page, Q&As that I've been putting up. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and visit the ACT Fitness Media page, give us a follow, and check out the fitness tips that I put on there for you. Also, if you do get a chance, go ahead and visit actfitnessmedia.com and take the free health and fitness quiz that's right below the logo on that page. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot of good stuff. And without further ado, here's the episode. Can someone please explain to me what makes Zevia sodas taste so darn good? Like, for real. If you know me, I think I've even mentioned this multiple times on this podcast, but I love Zevia drinks, and we have to have a supply here at the gym.
If you know me, even if you don't know you, somebody can walk through the gym door, seeing you hold a Zevia, drink it, and then watch you pop open another one less than 5 minutes later.
That is true. I'm pretty much always with the Zevia in hand. And if it's not in hand, then it's definitely in the fridge. Mm-hmm. In the back. Mm-hmm. We just restocked today. The Zevia's in the back. And it's almost like something feels empty.
Wait. So is it Zevia or Zevia?
Potato, I mean...
I think we should get this right.
The Zevia drinks are the ones that are made with stevia. You know, I think I've said stevia, and someone is always like, it's pronounced stevia.
I'm pretty sure it's stevia.
Whatever.
And Zevia.
Whatever.
Or Zevia.
I don't even know what I say. Zevia? What do I say? Zevia.
Well, you just said both.
Okay.
So both.
It doesn't matter. It's my favorite drink. That's all that matters.
Good. If you have not had it, you have to try it. It's so good.
Yes, you do.
So good.
Or maybe not, because then you might just be as addicted as we are.
That's okay. Hey, we won't talk about that.
I feel like I have an excuse, though, because I'm trying to get sponsored by Zevia. Mm-hmm. So I can be addicted to their stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? But, if we are addicted to other things also, then maybe we can get more sponsors. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. That's all sponsorships are. Just choose your addictions and try to get sponsored by them.
All right, enough about addictions. Let's get some questions answered.
So we have some. I've been doing a Q&A every Sunday, the Sunday Q&A, for the week. So don't feel like you need to ask on Sunday. It's there for the week. So go ahead and ask your questions there. And I will, maybe once a month, go ahead and pick some questions from there and go a little bit more in depth, because I don't want to create books on Instagram.
It's okay, me either.
But I can definitely discuss out those questions and just talk more in depth about how I fully would want to respond to that. So
yeah,
let's do it.
Okay, so Pink Hampt asks, how do you prioritize your mobility training when you have terrible mobility in everything? And he emphasizes shoulders, neck, hips, ankles, toes.
So I started my response on Instagram with saying that you need to have a mindset for mobility. And what I mean by that for the rest of you listeners is it's not the 1 hour that you're in the gym that is going to make or break your mobility and posture. It's the 23 hours that you're outside of the gym. It's what you're doing every single day that is either adding to your mobility or taking away from your mobility. How you drive your car, how you sit in a chair, how you are writing something when you're at your desk, how you're walking, if your feet are turned out or not turned out. It's all a part of what is either making or breaking your mobility, and that happens outside of the gym. Inside of the gym is where we can start to practice good posture and know what that feels like, so that in those 23 hours outside of the gym, we can actually have good mobility and have good form.
Mobility is really important. Mobility is going to be what allows you to have freedom in your body for those other 23 hours. And I mean, specifically in relation to this question, I think it starts, so prioritizing mobility starts when you wake up in the morning. So for example, for myself, I literally have to be mindful. So right when I wake up, I have to be mindful about how I'm going to step out of the bed, right? Like, and most people wouldn't think to do that. They wouldn't think.
No, I roll out of the bed.
Roll out of the bed. But like when you step off the bed, if your bed is leveled by any means, you have to think about how you're going to place your foot onto the ground, and making sure that you have an even amount of pressure on both feet, on both legs. So I know
some of you are thinking, what the heck are you talking about? But for real, I mean, you can put pressure on your foot more on the outside than the inside, more on the inside than the outside, more on the toes than the heels, and all of that makes a difference.
Yeah, it completely does. So
I mean, you feel you felt a difference in the pain in your back just by changing the pressure that you put on your feet, huh?
Yeah, no, I totally did. And just so you guys know, I have scoliosis. It's about a 40-degree angle, give or take. I'm not quite sure the exact percentage of where it is now, but about 6 months ago it was at 40%. I've noticed a change in my back and in the tension in my back and the pressure and even in the curve itself by first thing in the morning being mindful of how I'm getting out of bed, how I'm standing when I brush my teeth, how I'm standing in the shower. I know that's very meticulous and very detailed, but it has to be until it's second nature to you.
Yeah, definitely. The amount of intention that you put every single minute of every single day to improving your mobility, it's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen.
I want to add that unfortunately it is very uncomfortable to have to think about all of those things, to have to be mindful of those things. You would be surprised by how much we just let our body relax throughout the whole day and then come into the gym and expect to have perfect form, and it doesn't work that way. You need to correct it before you come into the gym, so that way when you do come into the gym, it's a little more natural. Yeah,
because even you got frustrated, even in your training sessions, because let's face it, nobody wants to spend an hour just focusing on mobility when they could be deadlifting and squatting heavy and bench pressing and stuff like that, where you may not pay as much mind to your ankles. But honestly, that's what a lot of people have to focus on. Yeah. That's what they have to focus on. I get a client who comes to me and says they want to lose weight, but then I see that their knees are buckled in and their toes are pointing out, and they're doing squats on their toes, and they can't even break 90 degrees, and they can't even touch their back because their shoulder mobility is so bad. It's really hard to create a compromise for those clients, because I would love for them to do exercises that are really going to help them with weight loss. I would love for them to incorporate these fun exercises that are going to help them burn a lot of calories and reach their goals and everything. But if I'm going to do my due diligence, I need them to understand that they have to look at those things that are wrong with their body. Otherwise, it's going to have severe consequences for them in the future. I would even venture to say that everything has a place, right? Weightlifting, mobility, certain exercises, resistance training, all of that
has a place somewhere in what you should be doing. But I think that mobility is probably the most important, because if we're talking, for our lifetime, if we're talking long-term, mobility is what's going to keep you mobile. I mean, and that's more important than
exactly.
Being super strong and doing all of that. All of that is beneficial, and it does help your metabolism, and it helps in performance, and it adds to mobility, absolutely. But I don't think being strong is more important than being mobile.
Right, and that's why the most important thing is to have a mindset for mobility. Because is every workout going to look like a mobility workout? No, it's not. You're going to want to have days where you're focused on strength or hypertrophy or endurance or other aspects of your fitness, but you should be having a mindset of mobility all throughout the day. And that's why it's good to spend a little time just focused on strength, or spend a little time just focused on endurance. But overall, you're in the umbrella of mobility. So, yeah.
Next question. Lindsay Adar, 23, asks, are cheat meals beneficial or just a way to justify eating crap food?
Oh, cheat meals.
Yes.
Well, I don't really believe in cheat meals per se. I mean, in my mind, a cheat meal isn't a bad thing if it's for the right reasons, in which case it would not be cheating on your diet. I believe that foods that make you feel good emotionally or culturally or socially should be a part of what you plan in your nutrition. Now, does that mean that they're going to happen every day, or that they should happen every day? No. I think that calling those meals cheat meals is just a way for you to kind of set them apart from your daily habits. But at the end of the day, if you know you're going to be having a specific food in a specific context, so like I don't like to go out to eat on my own. Like, you will not find me going to a BJ's just by myself. But if I'm with my girlfriend, or if I'm with friends, we might go out to BJ's and we might get a Pizookie or a pizza, because that socially feels good, and I will allow for that to happen because I'm in the setting of being with friends. If I'm going to a birthday party and there is a cake, am I going to be rude and not have the cake? No, I'm going to have a little slice of cake. Because I've built healthy habits on my day-to-day routines, and therefore those are not cheat meals. Those are just me enjoying those social contexts. My priorities have changed. My priorities have switched from me valuing this meal that's based around culture, or this meal that's based around the social gathering that I'm a part of, instead of a meal that's based off of giving me a balanced nutrition or balanced macros or good micronutrients or anything like that. Now, the problem that some people have is they will create a schedule for these cheat meals, and what ends up happening is they make it a habit to have these cheat meals. And one thing that I always say to my clients is that one meal is not going to make or break your progress. Okay, one meal will not make or break your progress. One good meal or one bad meal. And what makes or breaks your progress and you reaching your fitness goals is the habits that you create, the habits that you implement and that you work on fortifying over the long term. Because if you've got really healthy habits set in place and you go have that birthday cake or you go have that Pizookie or pizza or whatever, and then you come back to those healthy habits, then they're not cheat meals. They're just meals that have a different priority. But you've set for yourself something consistently healthy for you to come back to. So, I think the whole idea of cheat meals is just an excuse to pig out on whatever you want. And honestly, it's an excuse to not have self-control at scheduled amounts of times.
I think, actually, I disagree a little bit. I think that cheat meals are beneficial. I think a cheat meal is beneficial, but to think of the food that you really, really like and really, really want. So you're thinking of that food, right? And you want to be able to have it in your diet, but you're only going to allow yourself one day at a certain time, every week or every month or every couple of weeks or, whatever it may be. That is what is unhealthy, because it is okay for you to have that food that you like. It is okay for you to have that, but to categorize it and put it into the cheat meal idea is having an unhealthy relationship with food.
Yeah.
So it's better to build a good relationship with food, build an understanding relationship with food, because when you deprive yourself of the things that you like and then you have this quote cheat meal, you go all out, you go crazy, and then you try to backtrack and get back to where you were the next day or the next meal or whatever the schedule may be, and that is not healthy, because I think your brain responds to that in like an addicted kind of way, right? It becomes an addiction.
Yeah, it should be a choice and not an urge.
Yeah.
It should, like, if you're going to choose to have food, it should be that you are deciding that I am prioritizing something other than my health in this meal, which is equally valuable to my health in this moment.
Yeah.
And anything other than that is just a lack of self-control. You're basically that's what I'm against, is that if you say I'm going to have a cheat meal once a week, so I'm going to be really, really good this whole week, and then that one day I'm just going to I'm going to reward myself for all that self-control I had and just eat whatever the heck I want. No, that's addiction.
Yeah, and psychologically that's so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy. It totally messes with your mind and your body, and it's just not good. It's okay to have the foods that you want to have and eat them, but when you have a good relationship with food and you are eating healthy, you'd be surprised by your desire to eat healthy, how often your desire to eat healthy outweighs your desire to have that quote cheat meal. You may desire those foods, but it's the comeback, the bounce back from that is just so much smoother when you first have a good relationship with food. And by the very fact that people call meals cheat meals, to me tells me that they don't have a good relationship with food.
Yeah. And the bottom line is there are foods that are good for you and there are foods that are bad for you. Okay? And they're good for you in one setting, bad for you in another setting, and you have to choose what you want to prioritize. And I think your goal, if you're trying to strive for health and fitness, is not to schedule times for you to be okay with having bad foods, because orange chicken. I love orange chicken. I absolutely love orange chicken, but I know that it's a bad food for me. Yeah. I know that my stomach does not respond well to having orange chicken. There's nothing in orange chicken that would benefit me at all. And I haven't had orange chicken in a very, very long time. I've had meals that were not healthy, but when I had those meals, I did not decide to put orange chicken in there and allow myself to just lose self-control, because I knew, hey, I love orange chicken. It tastes really, really good, but I can have self-control and just hold off. Yeah. It's not worth it to me to do that to my body for the sake of me enjoying the flavor of a food. Like that's the unhealthy relationship that we're talking about. Do you want to sacrifice your health and the consistency that you can have with putting good food into your body just for the sake of you indulging some pleasure that comes from you tasting some food? if you are eating enough of the right foods, you will not have room for the wrong foods. And you should be falling in love with those foods that are actually giving you health and giving you good digestion and good energy and good moods and all of those things, good strength. Like those are the foods that you should be striving after, and those are the habits you should be building. And then, if you want to go to a birthday party and have a birthday cake, go ahead. If you want to, go out for a certain day and have a certain food, and you want to make that choice, go ahead and do it. But don't make it a habit to do that.
Okay, next question. Draco Drew 72 asks, is Gatorade a healthy drink?
Yeah, along the lines of...
I misspelled Gatorade.
Cheat foods. Along the lines of cheat foods.
Cheat drinks. Yeah, what about that?
Cheat drinks.
Tell me about that.
Let me start by saying that growing up, everybody thought that Gatorade was like the most healthy drink that you could drink. That is actually that and Sunny D and Tang, for whatever reason. That was like what I always drank. Sunny D, Tang, and Gatorade. But if you look at the back of a Gatorade bottle, what is it? It's literally just sugar and carbs and sodium, hydration. If you're a high performance athlete and you are on the field sweating and burning like 4,000 to 6,000 calories a day, then you can do with having a little bit of Gatorade. And let me add, the priority there is not health. The priority is performance, because Gatorade was made for the use of helping athletes perform well mid-game, okay? It's technically more of a supplement than an actual beverage, okay? It's technically more of a performance supplement than a beverage, because it's meant to replenish glycogen and help you to perform when you've depleted that glycogen. So it's replenishing it by giving you more sodium. It's helping you to stay hydrated through electrolytes, and then it's giving you that sugar boost for that energy. If you're your average person who's not an athlete, who's not burning a whole bunch of calories, and you're like, oh, Gatorade's healthy, I should stay hydrated all the time, drink lots of water, stay hydrated, electrolytes. No, there's no reason for you to be intaking that much sugar in a bottle, in a beverage. You're drinking sugar. Yeah. You're drinking carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Why? If you had the choice between a fruit salad and a Gatorade, which would you choose? I don't know about you, but I would choose the fruit salad.
I would too.
I think the fruit salad would taste way better.
Yeah.
Than a Gatorade that's gonna go away in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But yet we choose to have these Gatorades instead of actual food, and that's why having stuff like that ends up making you fat and makes you put on more weight instead of taking off weight, because people don't know. People don't realize that it has all these calories and carbohydrates and sugars. They just think athletes drink it, therefore it must be healthy and it must be good, so I should drink it too, and it's going to help me to look like them. But that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah, I think maybe that's not an appropriate way to ask if Gatorade is good for you or whatever, to say that it's a healthy drink, because even for athletes, it's not healthy. Those athletes that are burning those massive amounts of calories, I would not say that Gatorade is a healthy drink. It is a beneficial drink. It will benefit them in the moment, but even long term, they don't need Gatorade. Yes, those are the benefits that it brings, and that's what it was created for, but it's not a necessity. They could refill everything that they're losing with other things.
Yeah, and like I said before, the priority for drinks like that is performance. And performance and health are not synonymous. It is not healthy to be tackled on a weekly basis Okay? It is not healthy for you to be holding your breath underwater as long as you can doing laps in the pool. It's not healthy for you to be, pushing the limits of your body more and more and more and more and making yourself puke during your practices and all that. That's not healthy. That is to improve performance.
Yeah.
Okay? Is improving performance good for your health? Yeah, sure. But you don't have to be an athlete to do that, and you don't have to push to the extremes that an athlete will. The athlete is not concerned as much with health as much as they're concerned with they need to beat the other team, and they're going to do everything they can to beat the other team or to beat their best time or whatever like that. And they're going to do whatever they need to do. They're going to take whatever they need to take and drink whatever they need to drink to do that. Gatorade provides that replenishment that they need during their games. Are there other ways to do that? Yes, absolutely. Is there other sources of electrolytes that you can have that don't have sugar and carbohydrates? Yes, absolutely. So it really just depends on how focused you are on health rather than performance. And if you are focused more on performance, then go ahead, have Gatorade. It's not that's not the issue, because if you're an athlete and you're burning those calories, then track it and use it to what it's made for. Use it for what it's made for, which is helping you to perform better. But don't think that it's a healthy drink that you should be having on a regular basis. It's not. Well, if you like ACT Fitness Radio, be sure to leave us a 5-star rating and review. If you'd like to follow Jaylene on Instagram,
Hey.
What's your handle again?
My handle is JAYLENE _IANNINI, baby.
Boom, Jaylene_Iannini. And the ACT Fitness Media Instagram is at ACT Fitness Media. And be sure to visit actfitnessmedia.com for more free resources.
Peace.